Yesterday, I attempted to have a coworker help me remain impartial about an observation I made. It turns out that she convinced me that the observation I made was actually not flawed. It wasn't my imagination. And it has to do with the attire that some people select. I can say it's 100% women who I have observed doing this, and I can think of immediately the faces attached to the commentary I'm getting ready to make, the source of the inspiration. And I'm not picking on the clothes themselves, I'm not picking on how the clothes make them look. There's nothing wrong with the clothes. It's about the theme of the clothes, the message, the graphic design element of that shirt. It's one of those shirts that has words in them, that has specifically religion related messages, God related messages. And I happen to have a shirt like that actually that I wore the other day, the one that has like the cross looking symbol and then it's like vertically written. It says faith, it's that long dress t shirt. And I wear it, and there's a part of me that wishes that I could like modify that. Not that I don't want the message there. I like what it looks like. It's just I wish it didn't spell out anything. Although it is worn briefly enough, I guess, to where nobody has a chance to say anything except, hey, that shirt looks good on you because navy is my color. But when it comes to the messages that those shirts have, they're positive. They say things like faith, blessed, with God, or with love, or something like that. Just loving, religious, or faith ridden kinds of messages. However, those can be some of the toughest individuals I have interactions with, because as opposed to me having a smooth interaction with them, which is, hello, how are you? This is your total. Thank you. Have a good one. Something like that. It can occasionally turn into them being those folks who are difficult to please. Let it be because they think the price is wrong, but the price is actually right, and you try to explain it to them, but they're in denial about it. Or it could be something like they'll be accusing you of being too rough with their items as you pack them, and how you need to stop throwing their things. Anything. I'm telling you, they're just critical, and they are far removed from the loving attire that they're wearing. And sometimes they're artificially too loving, too kind. They'll be trying to tell you sweet things, but you just know that's not this person's default. And I don't know about you guys, but that just makes me uncomfortable. I process it naturally because outside I have trained myself to have my usual calm demeanor. I don't really react too much. I don't engage with much. But when I see things like that, I can pick up on the fact that it's probably a person trying to get a reaction out of me. And to get a reaction out of me, you need a lot, let me tell you. Especially if I'm in public or on the job, or you're not someone who's part of my personal life, or someone I just don't care for, a stranger, things like that. You're never going to get that out of me. But what I had to ask my coworker about is if she agreed with what I just described to you guys, but also if she feels like those have been among the most consistently challenging people. Like they're just, each time you see them, more than likely they're gonna give you shit. And usually they're gonna be wrong, but expressing it to them to where they can accept that they're wrong. And even if they finally see that they're wrong, they don't completely embrace that they're wrong, because they're going to try to come up with a excuse on why they got confused, as opposed to being like, oh, I was wrong, I'm sorry, I didn't read it carefully. They'll be like, you need to redesign your tag to where it's easy to understand, even though how can you misunderstand what's posted? I don't get it. Those playing dumb situations are the ones I don't entertain. All I do is I stay quiet, and internally I just digest it as best as I can. It's like I can crank up my stomach acid so that it eats away at the experience I just had so I can let it go. But usually I can't. That's why I tell you about it. But ultimately, my coworker summed it up perfectly. She said, "Those are some of the most condescending people I have met, I have encountered, or I see in the day." And when she put it like that, I thought, you know what? That is a superiority complex, because they will continue to project those things like, "I love Jesus, I am with Jesus." Anything when they start talking like that. And I don't mean any disrespect. I don't mean to mock them in any capacity. That's not my point here. It's just that, why is it that individuals who behave like that, who are expressing that they are so strongly connected with their religion, how come those are the ones with some of the worst behavioral problems? I'm not saying that if you are a religious person, you are perfect, you are pure, you don't have any issues, you don't make mistakes, you don't suffer, you don't hurt, etc. Nothing like that. I'm just saying that if you truly were inspired by that stuff, I would think that your behavior would be more favorable, but somehow it isn't. And you sit there trying to convince me to join you because your way, your style is the better one. I say that because some people do hand me little flyers talking about something like, "Do you have Jesus in your life? Do you have God in your life?" Something like that. And I examine it, and the actual content of the pamphlet can be inspiring. It can be healthy. It's just the way that the person in the flesh in front of you delivers it that I have a little bit of a conflict with, because they at some point get so aggressive about it, so pushy about it, that I keep thinking there is no way that this is your source of inspiration. Because if it were, you would project this in a healthier way as opposed to a possessive, pushy, condescending, superior sounding. I don't know how to describe it, but I'm just saying that when I see someone with a hat or a shirt that says blessed or faith or shit like that, I'm like, okay, this is a person who's going to be lively. And again, not all of them, but a good number of them who wear clothes like that are some of the most challenging and meanest people I've encountered, but some of them can genuinely be kind and sweet. And the worst part about it is, I'm thinking, are you doing that to camouflage your problematic behavior like these other people I'm thinking about? Or is it because you're genuinely that nice person, kind and sweet out here in public? Maybe you go home and you suffer, or maybe you are all around positive inside and outside the house. I don't know, but I just wanted to present this to you guys to see if you have observed the same thing I have observed, if this happens in your area, if you have noticed that before, if you were not aware, if you think now that you're aware that I said something, maybe you'll notice it more. Does that ever happen to you? As soon as you talk about something with someone, it's like real life has its own algorithm too that's pushing content onto you based off your previous searches, interactions, questions, stuff like that. I don't know, you guys. I just feel, again, bad because it is supposed to be, the way I was taught is church is supposed to be the place where people go to heal. The purpose of religion is kind of like that. And that's why they say, oh, God will love you no matter what you are. Even the people in prison are loved just the same as the people who are out here with better lives, to sum up examples. And then I think to myself, I do agree with that. If we're all supposed to be his creations, why would one child be a favorite over another? You know how parents be trying to convince you that they don't have favorites. But I do believe that some parents do suffer from favoritism, and some parents legitimately can split that attention. And by split, I mean I have 100% for you, 100% for you, 100% for you, as opposed to, okay, I have 3 kids, therefore 33.3% goes to you, 33.3% goes to you, 33.4% goes to you, to round it up to the 100, and that 0.1% is what breaks the camel's back with the others. I don't know, you guys. I just wanted to bring this up, create the topic, see if you guys have observed this. And maybe it doesn't even have to be religious related quotes. It could be something like being positive, stay positive, but then the person with the be positive shirt has the meltdown. Those little things. It can be anything, really. I'm just saying that the ones with the religious messages are the ones that I see the most. Well, there you guys have it. That's it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in. If I look like I'm getting ready to bust out laughing, it's because I'm remembering how funny this conversation was with my coworker. I just wanted to live in my memory. We weren't saying anything inappropriate. It's just that I asked the most sarcastic person I probably know at work, and of course, that made it super funny. But it's one of those things that I'm just happy that I'm at a point now where I'm not as timid about starting conversations anymore like I used to be. And when I ask a question, I always feel like whoever I'm asking, their face lights up and they're like, yeah. And then they start telling me their stuff. And then I go, I know, right? Because da 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 da, that exchange, and it's all lively and shit. And that's what I'm remembering. I'm just remembering the look in her face, her tone, and the specific words that she used that cracked me up. God don't like ugly. Okay, that's it. Bye.